What are we doing today?
We are making a rainbow cake.
Why are we making a rainbow cake?
We are making a rainbow cake because tomorrow is the summer solstice celebration at the Southern Delta Church of Wicca ATC, and being that it is also June, it's Pride Month. So, let's begin. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Is instead of making one cake, we're actually making 2 boxes of the same thing. Alright, so we're going to start doing that. First things first, we got to open the box. Open the box. Open the box. Gotta open the box. Open the box. Oh, what's in the box? Box is a bag. Box is a bag. And open the box. Box has a bag. Okay, let's read the box now. Alright, so it says to set the oven to 350. 350, here we go. Nice pretty oven. Nothing on the vent part. Alright, so this is the fun part. We have bake at 350 and start. Alright, so let's see. Now it says to coat the bottom of the pan with a non-stick cooking spray or shortening and flour dusting. Alright, but we're not doing that. We are instead, I have these 2 nice pretty cake pans, and they are lined with wax paper cut out for the shapes. That way they will easily be able to be stacked at the point. I have these put down right over there. So, and because of a process that we're going to do later on, I got 2 boxes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start putting everything together. And like any good baker knows, wet goes with wet and dry goes with dry, and then you mix them. So let's get all our wet stuff together in the bowl. In the bowl. Oh, look, we have a nice big bowl. Okay, so here is our double amount of water in the bowl.
How much water was that?
That was 2.5 cups. Here is our oil.
How much oil is that?
It is 1 cup of oil in the bowl.
Now, is that extra virgin oil or just regular oil?
It's actually better to have regular canola, corn, or vegetable oil for baking, because extra virgin olive oil doesn't have the same viscosity as what other oils have. So that's really what you're going for. Alright, so next, because we're making 2 and because we're making them with the whole egg, it's going to take 4 whole eggs. So because we're doubling it, it's actually going to take 8 whole eggs. So we're going to have our 8 eggs that we have right here. And we have our pan right here. Do these. Alright. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot something. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. In our house, we're composters. So I'm actually saving our eggshells. Put eggshells in the bag. Here we go. So we got 1. Crack. And in you go. That's 1. 2. In the bag. 3. In the bag. 4. In the bag. 5. Here we go. 6. 7. In the back. And 8. Come on. There we go. Alright. And a fork.
What do you need a fork for?
I'm about to show you. See, look, we have all this fun stuff in here. I'm going to stab all the eggs. I'm stabbing the yolk so that it can get well distributed. Alright. Hey Devin, you want to come help me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my son Devin. He's going to be my stirrer for today. So, do me a favor and stir, stir, stir. And try not to lose my fork. Alright. While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and open my bags of mix. I am not afraid of using a cake mix because cake mix saves some time. Alright, so we got one. Cake mix open. And two. Cake mix open.
So what are you going to do with the cake mixes?
Alright, so after that's well mixed, we're going to add our dry cake mix to them. And move this over in our compost. Let's see if this will go. So, my oven is preheating. This is our cake mix that we're using today. Yes, it is funfetti because we all love rainbow. And, is that good? Yes, that's good. Go ahead and show the camera real quick. Nice and good. Alright. There we go. Alright, so now it's time to add our stuff.
The stuff.
The cake mixes. Alright, and you lost my fork in there.
So what happens when we lose the fork in there?
We have to grab the fork back out.
And why is this a bad thing?
Because it's a big piece of metal going into the cake if we don't grab it back out.
So what's it in right now?
And it's in Devin's hand right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he got it back out. It was an easy save. Alright, are we ready? Want to
We're
go
ready.
watch? Alright. Alright, so stirring. And we add. You just keep stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. That's one bag. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir.
By cooking terminology, what is stirring eggs?
Stirring eggs.
I thought it was called whisking.
No, that's when you use a whisk.
It's actually called beating.
It's called feeding.
It's called beating.
Whisking is when you're trying to fluff the eggs out. Beating the eggs is when you're trying to break them down.
Alright. How goes it?
It's not got everything down, breaking it, and not gonna.
So what do we have over here?
So this is what's going to turn our cake into some rainbow cake. This is actually our food coloring mixtures. They've already been pre-mixed because it's monotonous to sit out here and count out drops of food coloring. I will tell you how that beep you heard was my oven coming to temperature. Yeah. So, the food coloring that we have, I'll tell you, we have a lot of food coloring going into this cake. A lot of food coloring.
It almost looks like you're preparing to dye eggs.
Well, it's the same kind of dye. All right, how's that going, Devin?
It's almost ready.
Okay. So,
About 3 more or 2.
what we're gonna do is I have my handy dandy ice cream scoop, and we're going to scoop the ice cream. We're gonna use the ice cream scoop to separate. That's good. That's good. Go ahead and take that fork out. All right. So come on back in. Alright, so now we're going to use the ice cream scoop and we're going to separate it into our colors. We're going to start out probably with 2 scoops each. One, 2. Well, let's start out with 3 each. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. This gets heavy after a minute. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, each pan has, each little pot that we're mixing our colors in has its own individual stir. That way the colors don't cross-contaminate until we're ready for them.
So you're going to try to use every bit of the batter.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to evenly disperse it so we get the same amount of each color.
So can one eat cake batter?
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, that's kind of the thought is most people like the idea of eating cake batter because it's sweet, but at the same time there's raw egg in it. So there's always that possibility of salmonella.
Which isn't good.
No, it's not good. Alright. Well, that's about as divided as we could get. It's probably about 5 or 6 scoops per each one. And if you look at the bottom, you can actually see the colors that they're going to turn into. You see that? So, what's next? Lots and lots of stirring.
Stirring.
So, Devin, here's one for you to stir. And here's one for me to stir. And we're going to stir. We're going to stir until the color gets good and in there. Salmonella.
Salmonella can be contracted by raw eggs, raw chicken.
Could also be given to you by, you know, if you handle
Reptiles incorrectly. If you're in a kitchen, you always need to change your gloves as you're handling chicken. I'd recommend doing it even if it's cooked, because you never know.
Wow, we're getting some really wild colors here. This is our orange. I think that one's done, Devin. Devin's got our green right there. I'm picking up another one, and he's going to pick up another one. That's the purple. I'm working on the yellow.
You may want to move that off the stove.
Yeah. There we go. Wow, this yellow is like super bright. How's the purple coming? I think the purple might need to be stirred just a little more.
Yeah. Right after I get done talking about workplace safety in kitchens.
Alright, I think the yellow is good. I'm going to pick up the next one. Looks like I'm handling the red. Or the reddish, kind of pinkish color. I don't know what color this is going to be.
It's going to be maroon.
I think it might be like a purple, but it's going to be a lighter,
Fuchsia.
like a pink. It'll probably be our pink. I think it's probably, I didn't have a red food coloring, but I think this one's going to be kind of close to red whenever it bakes out.
I think that one's fine.
Yeah, that's good. Alright. blue is the last one. Alright. So,
I feel like the cake is going to look like Devin's shirt when this is over with.
except Devonshire doesn't have no green.
It don't got no yellow, no red either.
Well, it's got that kind of pink color that it might be.
Yeah, it doesn't have any yellow.
Doesn't have no yellow and no green.
Yeah.
But it should be nice and vibrant. Okay. Alright, so for the colors, for the blue, you want to show them the blue real good? The blue, I have 2 packages of, food coloring. One's neon and one's not. So for this blue, I use 12 drops of the neon blue and 5 drops of a regular blue. Oh, so the next one will do green. For the green, I did 15 drops of the neon green and 2 drops of the regular blue. Okay. So this was supposed to be my red, but I think it's more pink. I did 12 neon pinks and 5 neon purples. But I think it's going to be good. For the purple, I got 10 neon pinks and 5 regular blues. So for my orange kind of color, I got 3 neon pinks and 8 neon greens. Is that all of them? There's a yellow. For the yellow, I did 20 regular yellows. Yeah, that's all of them. Alright, so here's our colors all lined up with a little bit of mess on the counter, but it's okay. We're going to clean up when we get there. Alright, so the next step is we already have our cake pans, have our liners. So the next thing that we get to do is we get to put the cake in the batter in the pan. Alright, so what color do you think we should start with, Devin?
So, or you want to do a pride flag orientation, or just rainbow orientation?
I'm okay with the pride flag orientation.
So the pride flag orientation is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then violet.
Okay.
So the spectrum of a rainbow.
Spectrum of rainbow minus indigo. And that's for gay pride. Yeah.
Alright.
There's a new flag out
That has the one that has all the browns in it.
the one that has brown, white, and black in it. But that one needs to be mixed with blue.
Alright, so do you want to make it where it's like layers, or do you want to make it where it's like tie-dyed?
I'm not the one making the cake. I'm just here to mix.
You're just here for mixing. Okay, well then, here's what we're going to do. We're going to tie-dye it. So we'll do a little bit of each, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's our pan. And, here, you take the green and I'll take a yellow. And we're going, you want to come closer?
And
Yeah.
one quart.
Pour. Alright. Oh, you're going to do the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing. We'll do 3 on one, and then we'll do 1 on another, okay? There we go. What color do you want to go in with this one? Blue or the orange?
The violet.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Purple it is.
So you're doing 3 colors per pan?
Yeah, we're going to do 3 colors in the pan. Alright.
that's pan number 1.
Yeah, that's pan 1. We're going to move it aside real quick. And we're going to get to pan 2. Alright. Ready? Alright. So that's our pink and our blue. Man, that looks freaking awesome. Alright, ready?
Very good contrasting colors. Here you go, Devin. Gonna go put those away. Alright. So, the next thing is these babies gotta go in the oven. In the oven. Alright. So. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna put them in the oven. Thank you. Alright. So because it's 2 small round pans, we can bake them at the same time. 1 on each side of the oven. So you ready? Alright. Go. They go right in there. Go in. And that's it for the minute. We'll be back in a little while and show you how things turn out. Alright, let's give them a check. So pull it out. Oh, right there. Gonna get a toothpick. Let's put it right in the center. Make sure it comes out clean. That's clean. Right. And then for the other one. Right in the center. Oh. That's considered clean. So now we're going to pull them out. Come on. There's 1. 2. Push the tray back in. Close the door. Off. So now what do we get to do with them?
Alright, so now they get to sit there for at least an hour and cool. Okay, now these have had time to cool, so what we're going to do is we're going to get them out of the pan. And first things first, I've already went around the pan and released them from the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick them up, shake just a little, shake just a little, shake just a little, just to make sure everything's good. Alright, and I have a cookie sheet lined with wax paper on here so that I can transfer easily. So what I'm going to do is we're going to turn upside down in my hand. Should come out nicely. And then we're going to turn that right there. Alright. Here you go, Devin. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off and level this. Careful not to cut myself. Alright. I'm going to break it in half right there. Oh, look at that. Isn't that awesome looking? What do you think, Devin? Yeah. Get all that off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open this cake. Icing right here. We're going to get just a little bit. We're going to put it on our turntable. And it's going to help the cake stick. Just that little bit. Alright, so now we're going to take our cake.
Flip it back over on my hand. Flip it over to where this part is on the bottom, on the center. So now we have the bottom part of our cake is up top. This is the wax paper that I put under the bottom of the cake to help it just bake solidly. So now that's trash. Alright. We're going to coat this one pretty well. We're going to start actually on the outside edges. I'm not afraid to use more icing than I think at this point. But I got plenty of icing. Alright, now we're just going to fill in that center. It's okay. Because it's okay. Just going to fill in that center. There we go. That looks nice and pretty. Stick that right back in there. We're going to do the same thing with this other cake. Shake it just a little, just to make sure that it's all nice and released. Topsy-turvy. Come on. There we go. It's going right there. We're going to level it out. Oh, how pretty. Now this is what I like to call the husband snack bowl, because makes good snacks for husbands. Now we're going to take this and we're going to take the part that we cut and we're going to do just like we did on the other, and we're going to lay it down right on top there. So now we have nice pretty, and I'm going to remove that wax paper from the bottom, and there we have our cake. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse my hands off real quick, and then I'm going to be right back, and we're going to crumb coat. Dry. Okay. So now we get all this nice icing, and because we're going on the tops and the sides, you want to kind of work it around a little bit in the jar. Now what I'm doing now is what's called a crumb coat, and a crumb coat is just so you don't get crumbs on the pretty part of the icing. So it can actually be fairly thin, but you do want it to gather up all of those crumbs. A lot of people like to actually brush their cakes with what's called pastry brushes to help gather some of the extra crumbs that come off. But I'm not doing that this time. I have done it before, but I'm just not doing it this time. I'm just going to go all the way around. And getting crumbs in this coat is fine, You just don't want a whole bunch of crumbs in your top coat. That's why we do this first layer. But you want to make sure that it's good and coated in this first layer, though. It can be coated thin, but it has to be good and coated. Because this is going to be the basis of all the other stuff that's on the cake. So you don't want to see any raw cake. You can see cake through, but you don't want to see any cake that doesn't have icing. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this jar on this one because it's got all my crumbs in there. So let's go ahead and just finish it out. Alright, so that's good and crumb coated. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it in the fridge. And it's going to be in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to come back and we're going to frost the rest of the way. Okay, now we're going to finish the rest of the way with our frosting. Now we're going to go ahead and get a new knife. Stir it up just a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier to manage. Maybe stir it up just a little bit. Sometimes I like to put it in the microwave for about 10-15 seconds. But we're not going to do that this time. I'm just going to stir it. There we go. Okay. We're going to put a nice thick coat on there. And the goal of this one is to make the cake all white. I wanted a white background on this one because it's going to give it a blank slate without having any color on it. And it's going to make the sprinkles that I put on there for the rainbow to really pop. Crumb, putting it on the lid so it doesn't get mixed up in with my other icing. think we're looking real good. Yep, looking really nice. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's only going to a potluck. So everybody who's going to look at the cake already likes me enough. There we go. But I do want it to look real pretty. Now, some people have a way of thinking that an ugly cake tastes better than a pretty cake. But I like a pretty cake. We're doing real good. So this is our second jar of icing, and I think we're about where we need to be. There we go. I'm just going to get the last of this icing on there. Last of the icing. Come on. Put you some right there. I think everybody's really going to like this cake. That's good. That works. If you want to see what I did, see what I did. Just a little bit there. That's okay because I know how to clean this up and make it look really pretty at the end. Alright. Alright, so that's, the cake is officially iced. So the next thing is I'm going to clean the bottom of my platter, and then I'm going to start adding my sprinkles. So what I need to do is I need to get some paper towels. I'm just going to press it down just a little bit. That's going to clean up my icing around the bottom where I don't want the icing or the crumbs to be. Alright. So now we have a nice pretty iced cake, and the bottom's all nice and clean. So now we get sprinkles. So the sprinkles are all different colors. Okay.
Sprinkles.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And I got 2 different containers because, oh, hold on. I got 2 different containers of sprinkles because I really like this one, but there is no yellow. And I really like this one, but there's no pink and purple. So, we're going to open them up. Come on. And open them up. Come on. Alright. I'm going to open this one. So it might actually come off the way it's supposed to. Oh, look, it did. Okay. So, I've got little big holes right there supposed to come out. Hopefully, it works. But, we gotta open each one to make sure that they're all open. Because sometimes the companies that make these things like to make it so you can't open one without opening all of them. And sometimes they like to make it where they're like they have seals on them on the sides. And you have to pre-open them before you open them. So I'm just making sure that all of them are working before I start doing that. Okay. Now, comes the really fun part is we get to start decorating. So, I think I'm going to start with our pink. I'm going to start with the pink. Okay. And then I will do red. Okay, I'll do the orange. I'm going to do the purple. This is not the best kind of hole for this. Blue. A whole lot of blue right there. Green. Orange. Oh, you know what? I should have put my yellow there. I should have put my yellow. So we're just going to go and we're going to sprinkle a little one. There we go. And I'm going to reverse, and I'm going to do orange. I'm going to remember my yellow sprinkle this time. Yellow. Green. Okay. We are definitely rainbow on rainbow right here. Alright, so here's a really good question. Is how do we get rainbow on the sides? How do we get rainbow on the sides? Well, rainbow on the sides is a little bit harder to do because what you're going to do is you have this up the little container. So that you can see it. See it? And we're going to get our spoon, and we're actually going to spoon it on, and hopefully it stays. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And we get to turn it around, and we will do the other side. More sprinkles. Sometimes it works real good, sometimes it don't. Alright, to get rid of those extra sprinkles, I'm just going to pour it into our vat of used icing. And we're going to go through and we're going to do that with every single color. Here's our purple. And having a little bit of mix is fine because there's a little bit of mix on the top too. Alright, so we're going to turn it. I think that our people who come out to the church who are part of the LGBTQ plus community are going to be super happy whenever they see this. Very happy. My floor is not going to be very happy about all these sprinkles that are falling on it, but that's okay. There we go. And if I have extra, I'm just going to sprinkle on the top. Sprinkle on the top. There we go. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and we'll do the red. Gonna make a sprinkle mix. Here's some red. Alright, now we're going to put red on this side and get some more sprinkles. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do our blue. Well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do the blue. Sorry, the green opened instead of the blue. Blue, 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 blue. I really hope that y'all out there on YouTube and Facebook and wherever you're watching this from actually are enjoying me making a mess. Because that's what I feel like I'm doing, is making a monstrous mess. I feel like I'm just making a mess. But this is one awesome cake. Up. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try again. We'll try to go down. Oh, that didn't work too well either. That's okay, I have more. I think we're doing good. There we go. That's all blue. Next we have green. And here's a fun thing, is we actually have 2 things of green. And one of them's going to be like a whole side. So I think I'm going to start on that side. Whole bunches of green. But the good thing is if I run out of this kind of green, I even can spread it out a little bit because I can mix this green in with it. Although it's just a little darker, I think it'll be alright. Let's see. It'll all be okay. It'll all be okay. Why? Because I'm going to make it be okay. It's all going to be okay. That just happened. Go. Sometimes all it has to be is a suggestion, and it's good. All right. It's better than it could be. All right. So now we have the orange. No. All right. Now we have our yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So we're going to fill this up with some yellow. Ooh, that's a lot of yellow. Okay. And because this is a different kind, I can actually kind of take the back of my spoon and kind of mash it in a little bit. And it actually stays in just a little bit better. And I'm not worried if any of that green gets in there because it's supposed to be a rainbow. So you're going to have a little bit of mixing of the colors anyway. So, and after I get done, it's going to look a lot better. All right, I got 2 spots of this yellow to do. Back of the spoon and just kind of smush. Back of the spoon and smush. Turn a little more.
So now we're going to start working on the orange. Got to fill up my bowl. And orange is another one of those where we had a big chunk like the green. So, I get all the orange sprinkles out. Come on. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So, hope this does decent. Come on. Come on. Turn it just a little bit more.
Maybe add some yellow into it.
I'm probably going to have to, just to give it some full look. And I can even add some red. There's the red. There's that a little bit of red right there. There we go. So we're going to take the yellow, and yellow is probably going to save the day. And we're going to do what we were doing before, back of the spoon, and kind of smush it. Back of the spoon, kind of smush it, smush it, smush it. Smush it, smush it, smush it. And it's a rainbow, so mixing things can happen. Oh look, we didn't add no orange over here. We didn't add no orange, but that's okay, because we're just gonna smush it. Everything's gonna be just fine. I think they'll be okay. They're gonna love it no matter what. But I do want it to look really, really good. Alright. Now that I think we are as covered as we can be, I'm going to go ahead and pour this out, and I think I'm going to go back over with my green, over some of that green, make it just look a little bit fuller. Just a little fuller. Okay, so now I'm going to get another paper towel, and I'm going to make a bigger mess. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the paper towel and line it up fairly well with the cake, and I'm just going to kind of smudge all of this sprinkle stuff just off of the side of the cake at the base right here. Give myself just a clean bottom. And then when I get done, I'll show y'all what I do at the end. It's going to make all the difference.
See how much cleaner it looks on that side? Now that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Alright, so here comes the really fun part. Is I'm going to take a Ziploc bag and I'm going to fill it up with my last remaining thing of ice topping. Gonna get just a small Ziploc bag. That was a trick that my mom taught me a long time ago. So you take the Ziploc bag and you put it inside of a coffee mug. Just like that. And you take your other icing. Now this one's really, really thick. Gonna mix it up like we did the other ones. Very good. And we're going to add it in there. Now there's a reason why I put it in the cup, is because when I put it in the cup, it already gives it something to hold on to, and it's a lot easier than having to just put it in a flat Ziploc bag. And it's already in one corner. Seal it. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to clip the tip just right there into the pastry bag. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a line at the bottom. There you go. Show you how I'm doing that. Can you see? And see how much prettier and cleaner that looks now? That's air pocket. There we go.